Hey folks, welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. We're here in Drangleic Castle downstairs, where it's quite dark. This is a place where you are probably gonna want to grab a torch, or cast light if you're into that kind of thing. You know, if you're a sorcerer or something. But a source of light, very helpful in this room here, which is progress, which you'll note is full of these statues. Some of them are enemies, some of them are not. And then you will also notice these strangely embroidered doors that resemble the golems that we saw on the outside. And they function quite similarly to the golems. If you kill an enemy near the door, the souls of those enemies will go into the door and open it, as I will demonstrate here. Now, nice thing here, you can totally kill those guys as they're standing up, and that's pretty awesome. Saves a lot of hassle. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open all the doors and clear out all the enemies, and then I'll worry about, actually exploring. That, I believe, actually is progress, so I'll definitely save it for last. Now it's already open. Oh! You may have heard something coming out. It's a ruined Sentinel! Hello. So, the ruined Sentinels are back. You remember them. They were one of the bosses in the Lost Bastille. In that scenario, we fought 3 at once. Here, you only, if you do it right, have to fight 1 at a time. Most of these doors have a ruined sentinel hidden behind them, so only activate 1 door at a time, and you'll only have to fight 1 at a time. If you activate all of them at once, you'll have to deal with, like, 5, not to mention all the other enemies that are gonna wake up. It won't be a good time. Anyway, here's another one. Hey. I'm not sure I like being in this close quarters, but I don't want to accidentally activate any other enemies, so... Anyway, I don't know if we're... Well, we are stronger. I don't know how the health of these ruined sentinels compares to the health of the boss versions that we fought. Anyway, each of these ruined sentinels is also guarding a chest. So let's be sure to check all of those out, not forget any of them. Mastodon Greatsword, this is what I mentioned before when we got the Mastodon pants. Mastodon Greatsword, is it this? Yes. Terrible experiments were said to have taken place in a hidden manor in Drangleic. The mastermind presiding over the deeds was known as Lord Aldea. So, now we've got 2 names associated with the creation of these mastodons. Aldea and Vendrick. We're gonna, I don't know if we've heard the name Aldea before. We are definitely going to hear it a lot more. But Aldea and Vendrick were involved in some shady business. Royal Soldier's Ring, I think we've already got the original version of that. Yeah. Increases equip load, which is neat, which is nice, which is good. Now you'll notice these golems here have kind of sconce torch-like things. And indeed, if you kill an enemy near it, it will light its torch, and that will cast some light on the subject. That means that you can reasonably go back to holding a shield or whatever you want. Who are you? Bashful Ray! Hey, good to see you. I'll save you for later. Loving this Bashful Ray fella. Good dude. Now, the interiors of these rooms are still going to be a little bit dark. so be a little bit careful. But this main room will be nice and light. I'm gonna guide this guy over here. That's the first kind of minor puzzle-ish like thing, where you have to actually get an enemy to come over, rather than just killing it where it starts. And again, going to stick to areas I've already been in, just in case I accidentally activate some new enemies if I'm not careful. So, this room, I'm gonna save, just for a little while. Man, it is still dark over here, though. So, you might want to guide the ruined Sentinels back into the light. Come on. Or I'll fight in the shade. Alright, I can do that. That's not that dark, I guess. Definitely making use of invincibility frames rather than just straight up being out of range of attacks there. And I think we got one more over here. Yes. So yeah, imagine activating all 5 of these ruined Sentinels at once. It'd kind of stink, huh? Aha! Imagine if you're really having trouble, Bashful Ray could help, but again, take them on one at a time, and they're honestly not too bad. Ooh, the Ruined Helm. Are we gonna get some lore about the Ruined Sentinels? Where is it? Here we go. Worn by the jailer's creation, the Ruined Sentinel. The Sentinel has no form, its soul residing within the armor itself. Stare at it for long, and it seems ready to spring to life, but surely such is an illusion. So the jailer's creation, I'm thinking that jailer, for reasons that I will maybe explain at some point, I'm thinking that jailer was Aldia. Aldia tends to be involved when the creation of artificial things is happening. Whether it's the Mastodons, whether it's the, whatever the frickin' boss of No Man's Wharf is, I always forget. The beast with no backs, you know. It's that one. Aldia is usually involved. There's no chest or anything. Is there an illusion? No, I didn't think so. Oh well. Whatever. I think there's still 1 or 2 more of these guys. Yep. So let's take care of them. You're not going to come to life, are you? No. Okay. So, like I said before, this way is progress. But this path, this door, has an extra special little something. And I want to light my torch before I go over there. Just because it is rather dark and it is going to get darker. And this is something you wouldn't know about. There's no way to tell. You know, you'd walk in and be like, oh, it doesn't look like there's a chest in here. And then if you're maybe really eagle-eyed, you will notice that, oh, the floor looks kind of weird. Ba-dum. And, haha, look, it's one of these things. Remember these things from No Man's Wharf? Again, another kind of weird, inhuman creature of the dark. Maybe Aldio was involved there too. Anyway, down here you get the Faram set, and the Faram set is basically, it's the box art set for Dark Souls 2. It was worn by the Ferosa Lion Knights. Mighty Lion Knights, worshippers of the war god Faram, wore heavy armor and were feared for their nimble two-handed swordplay. But their legacy was cut short with the fall of Ferosa. Now, it's a heavy set. It's a very cool-looking set, but it's a pretty heavy set. So unless you're going real bulky, it ain't gonna work. And I mean, more power to you if you go bulky. But I mean, it's definitely stylish. Don't get me wrong. All right, so down here, you'll find two doors. One door, you will find a bonfire. Very nice. And then the other door, you will find, gosh, it is still dark in here. It's this guy. Remember this guy? We've met him twice before. This will be our third.
We meet again, young undead. You have the look of a true seeker. I am Dark Diver Grandal, seeker of dark, giver of dark. If you seek true dark, I will grant it to you, as much as you desire. Well then, is dark what you wish for?
So now that we have talked to this guy in 3 different locations, we have the opportunity to join the Pilgrims of Dark. Pilgrims of Dark is a covenant that basically allows you to access some optional challenge dungeons, and eventually fight an optional challenge boss.
There you are now a pilgrim of dark. The dark chasm beckons you. Those drawn to the dark are destined to seek it.
So before we do anything with that, let's talk to this guy.
Finally, you are here, young undead. Now, open the depths of darkness. Young undead, the dark awaits you.
So, first off, you can buy things. Sells human effigies and a lot of bonfire aesthetics. If you're the kind of guy or gal or neither who likes to refight bosses a lot or grind certain areas for items, bonfire aesthetics are great for that, and this is a good resource for them. He also sells a bunch of hexes and also cast light, which is kind of weird given that he's all about the dark. I don't know if these hexes are anything we haven't seen before, but Galea the Hexer and Navlan are the 2 names. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot to go on there, other than hexes are evil. They are frowned upon very much so. And some of them are cast via staff, and some of them are cast via chimes. So you need what is typically an intelligence thing and what is typically a faith thing in order to use all the hexes. So the way this covenant works is that you, other than this first time, you give Grandal a human effigy, and he will open up a portal into the Abyss. And in the Abyss, you can fight, or you can go through an optional challenge dungeon. And If you win, hooray, you are cool. And if you complete all 3 optional challenge dungeons, 1 for each location that you can find Grandal at, then you get to fight the optional challenge boss. Now, I don't want to do that right now. I would like to dedicate those challenge dungeons to their own separate episode later in the series, in part so that I can save between them and edit around it, and it makes my life easier. And also it's just kind of a distraction from the momentum of Drangleic Castle. But I do want to do these at some point.
The embrace of the dark is gentle. Let it absorb your sorrows forever. The embrace...
And that's all he's got to say.
May the dark shine your way.
That's a fun turn of phrase. We also did get the Covenant Ring for Pilgrims of the Dark. It increases the attack strength of hexes, but casting them reduces HP. That's a thing that is kind of consistent with hexes. They are powerful, but at a cost. When you wear the ring, it reduces HP, and many hexes require using souls to cast. You spend souls to increase the power of the hex. What is dark? Perhaps we already know. We fear dark, yet find solace in it. Those who join this covenant can see the hidden dark chasm. Alright, Grandal, I will be back, but I'm going to save this for later, if you don't mind. And I've got plenty of human effigies if I need to restart it or something. Poor skeleton. Feel bad. Anywho, that's just about wrapping up this episode. In this next episode, we will head back topside. That's not where we came in. Whatever, we can warp. We'll head back topside, and we will progress through more of Drangleic Castle. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.